how are you doing today? I am doing well, and I hope you are too. And we are going on with the continuation of my horror collection. I forgot what shelf we're on. I had a couple of complaints saying that maybe I should just videotape the shelves, but that's just not possible. So I'm gonna break down my movies for you, plus movies and memories. I say that over and over again. If I ever decide I'm gonna make merch, that's what my merch is gonna say. Movies are memories, because each movie I have has a memory. And if it doesn't have a memory, that means it either wasn't good enough for me to remember to have a memory, or maybe it was such a good memory that I can't remember. I don't know. But I'm gonna go in some kind of order here, and we're gonna try to see what I have left in my movie collection. We still have quite a bit left. I'm still looking at another 3 more shelves of horror movies, because horror is my favorite genre. It's what I collect the most of, horror, and then I would say probably comedy. Then it would probably go with maybe action and thrillers, and I'd wrap sci-fi into that. And then it would go with my what am I looking at here? When I start TV series, we're gonna go on and on and on, because I have a lot of TV series stuff. But let's begin with what I have over here, and the first one I'm going to grab is a movie called When Strangers Call. When Strangers Call. When Strangers Call. I paid $3 for this. I have not opened it up yet. It is just an accompaniment of this one, When a Stranger's Call. Okay, so this was the original. This was the remake, yes, and I actually really enjoyed this movie. If you don't know what A Stranger's Call is, girl's babysitting, all of a sudden she receives a phone call, and then it so happens the person is in the house with her, and she's going to try to escape the house and protect the children. Of course, she's in a house in the middle of nowhere where it takes forever for the cops to show up, and then they get a security guy, and then of course he gets killed, because that's what just happens when you decide to babysit at a place in the middle of nowhere. I don't know why anybody would think that that's a good idea. I mean, my daughters have asked me, hey, can I babysit? Well, I'm like, where's the place located? Well, if they went, the place is in the middle of nowhere where the cops can't make it there in time, and there's a good chance that we might get killed, I would probably tell them, turn that job down. Why you have to live in the middle of nowhere where there's no cops available, and phone signals go off, and you have a stranger living in the cabana in the back that's going to kill you? Not a good idea. Pass on the $5 an hour or $10 an hour to watch the kids, and stay home and be safe. So, When a Stranger's Call. That's what I gotta say about that one. Next movie is a movie called They. I don't remember it. They. It says it was terrifying. Don't see it alone. Well, maybe I should put it back in and watch it with somebody, because I cannot remember They. Comment below if it's something that I should be watching. They. And it's Wes Craven. Wow, wait a minute here. Now I'm feeling a little like why didn't I watch Wes Craven's They? Why did I watch it? Why did I not remember Wes Craven's They? It's Wes Craven. I'm having a hard time with this one now. Okay, anyway. Then we have The Boy. Absolutely love this movie. Love this franchise. I also have The Boy 2, the sequel to The Boy. And this was this is another one of those with babies. I'm hiring you to babysit a doll because we're old, and we want you to babysit a doll. Seems like an easy job, but when you have some psychopath living in the wall that wants to kill you while you're babysitting the doll, oh, spoiler, might not be worth the money. But cool twists, freaky endings. The doll is awesome. I got a thing for dolls to begin with. I got a thing, the Chuckies and Dolly Dearests and the Tiffanys and the Glens and Glindas and the Puppet Masters. I got a thing for that to begin with. So I was all over this franchise. But I'll tell you, the first one was good. Second one was decent too. I can't complain about either one. I thought Bronze was an excellent doll addition to my favorite doll type movie. So The Boy. Next little thing there. Okay, next one we have Dead Silence from the writers of Saw. Now this one got a lot of they actually have figures from there for this franchise. Well, it's not a franchise, only one movie, but they actually have figures from this movie, and I don't remember this movie. This is another one I'm gonna have to put back in and relive. I have a hard time because if I can't remember the movie and I know I've watched the movie, then in my head I'm like, maybe the movie wasn't that great. But this one has a little bit of a cult following, so maybe I need to readjust my thinking on this. Maybe it was a day where I was tired. Maybe it was a day when I was confused about something. Maybe I just didn't want to deal with movies at that time. I just wanted to fall asleep. I don't know, but Dead Silence. You scream, you die. Might be worth a checking out. Ed Gain. The Butcher of Plainfield. Okay, I bought this for a couple things. Number one's Kane Hodder. Jason Voorhees, Kane Hodder, the my personal favorite, Jason Voorhees. He was also in Hatchet. Okay, Kane Hodder. I just think Kane Hodder is cool as can be. And in this one, he played Ed Gain, which it was kind of a little bit of a stretch because if I am correct, the original Ed Gain was kind of a scrawny type guy, and Kane Hodder is big, massive type dude. And but this was actually okay. It was an okay take on the Ed Gain story. And if you don't know who Ed Gain is, Google him, Wikipedia him, Wikipedia, whatever Apedia. Check him out. You'll know who Ed Gaines is. I'm pretty sure that this is what they stole the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from his, the serial killer type situation thing going on there. And I couldn't pass. I just couldn't pass. I mean, I don't know if it has a Blu-ray release. I don't even know it's worth upgrading to a Blu-ray release. Probably not. It was made by Lionsgate. I think I might check this out tonight. I don't know. It says, notorious serial killer who inspired Psycho and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I was right without even reading that thing. I didn't know about the Psycho thing, but... And then we have 30 Days of Nights. I need to upgrade this to Blu-ray because I really did enjoy this movie. This is a snowy vampire movie. And that's what I got to call it. And I'll tell you right now, nothing I love more than watching a snowy, cold movie in the middle of winter. And this is a snowy vampire movie. And you open your windows in the middle of December and immerse yourself in the feeling of what these people will possibly go into. This was really good. I mean, it has Josh Hartnett. I got no Josh Hartnett issues. People seem to say Josh Hartnett plays Josh Hartnett every time he plays Josh Hartnett. But I have no issue with Josh Hartnett. I think he's okay. The vampires in this were great. The co-stars in this movie were great. The premise and the storyline of this whole movie was great. And then they released 30 Days of Night. What do they call this one? Dark Days. This one I don't remember. I don't know if I don't remember it that well because this is the baby right here, and this is just the sequel. And sometimes sequels can be better, like Terminator 2, but sometimes sequels can be probably like 30 Days of Night, Dark Day. I can't remember the Dark Days. Okay, so I want to see a good vampire movie set in a snowstorm, blind out, type feeling. I don't even know what that was. This is the one to go to. So, 30 Days of Night, the original. Okay, we're moving along, and I got complaints. You're not moving along enough. You're telling too many stories. Okay, whatever. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and this is my Arrow video release. And Killer Clowns from Outer Space is awesome. Just an awesome, nostalgic, cult classic that if you have not ever seen, this is the way to go. It's the Arrow release is the way to go. As far as this is my personal opinion, you get a ton of extra stuff in here. Arrow did a great job of cleaning this thing up. It's beautiful looking. Everybody's gonna love it if you are a fan. I watched this with my kids. What do they rate this thing? PG-13. It's fine to watch with your kids. I can't even remember anything bad being in this movie. It's about, okay, so the title, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I mean, just that. It's what it's about. Killer clowns from outer space. They shoot you with a cotton candy gun. They turn you into cotton candy. They hang you upside down in your cotton candy cocoon, and they kill you in various different ways. But they're clowns, so it's funny. And if you're one of these people that are afraid of clowns, they're not like creepy clowns. They're like cartoonish clowns, and the story is great. And I'll tell you right now, the special features on this thing are brand new 4K scan in high definition. Killer Clowns theme song, There's I mean a ton. Killer Clowns Collection, tour of the set. It's unbelievable the amount of stuff that Arrow Video has put in this Killer Clowns collection. And if you are a fan of Killer Clowns, this is the one to get. We have a double feature of the Scarecrow and Scarecrow Slayer. The Scarecrow and Scarecrow Slayer double feature. I gotta think. There's gonna be more Scarecrow stuff coming up, but I gotta think for Scarecrow, Killer Scarecrows. I gotta think for them. These are cheesy B R-rated movies, not for the kids. They throw a whole bunch of inappropriate stuff in there just because it's a low budget type movie or whatever. But this was actually really decent. The Scarecrow looks really good. The special effects are really good for a B type movie. The Scarecrow and Scarecrow Slayer, awesome. I know there's another Scarecrow movie somewhere around here, or it might be in the next wall or whatever, because I know that Scarecrow, he didn't just stop with these two movies, he kept going. Monster Dog. This to me, it looks like a bootleg. It looks like a bootleg, feels like a bootleg. Wait a minute. And if you're a collector, you know what I'm about to do now. Smells like a bootleg, but not a bootleg. Okay. This is actually just a really low budget movie, horror movie starring Alice Cooper, and I don't know who Victor Vera is, but I'm an Alice Cooper fan. Wanted to get this to add to my collection. I heard a little about it. I can't really remember it. I'm assuming it's a werewolf type movie, but it stars Alice Cooper. I gotta look up this thing because it might be something that's hard to get, might be something that's out of print, might be something that's impossible to get. I don't know. Full-length feature film, CNEX access, digitally remastered. Alice Cooper. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you can go wrong with an Alice Cooper horror movie. I mean, that's what Alice Cooper's all about. He's all about theatrics and horror movies, and that's what I wanted to get. Okay, this one I paid it's got the Blockbuster Video sticker on it. I get that feeling going on there, the nostalgic feeling. It's a movie I can't even remember what it is, but it's called Satan's Little Helper. Horror movie. I paid $1.99, previewed. It's in good shape, so I got no complaints, but I don't remember the movie that well. But I mean, look at the cover. Just the cover art alone. If this was at the Dollar Tree, you know you would grab it. But Satan's Little Helper. I mean, just for the title, it's worth it. Here's a special little ditty here for you. Special little movie. A movie called Teeth. Now, this one I do have to upgrade to a Blu-ray if there is a Blu-ray available, or it's probably out of print, whatever. This one's a little, if you haven't heard of Teeth, then I'm going to break it down very, very gently and non-graphically. It's about a girl who has teeth in her private parts. Yes, it's in her private parts, and if you try to have the teeth will actually bite off your if you've seen the movie Teeth, just comment below. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to get into a lot of detail, but that's what it's about. It's about this girl that's got teeth in her, and guys are trying to, and they can't because and it bites, and then the thing falls. Look at the back. I mean, see that guy right there? He ain't happy. But I'll tell you right now, I saw this thing. It was by Dimension Extreme, and for a while I was collecting Dimension Extreme movies because they just had a long a long stretch of movies that were kind of like this odd type horror kind of thing going on. And this was actually pretty interesting, even though the topic is a little odd. But Teeth, I recommend it. I do. I recommend. Not for the kids. Don't watch that with your kids. No, ever. Don't watch it. Don't watch it with anybody. Go watch. Lock yourself in a room. Watch it by yourself. It's one of them type movie. I don't even think I'd watch that with my wife. I watched it by myself. I only watched it maybe once or twice. It was good. It was just not something that I'm gonna be like, yeah, I can't wait to watch Teeth again this weekend. You know what I mean? But if you've seen it once, it's something. Here's a movie called The Eye. Stars Jessica Alba. I'm assuming I bought this when Jessica Alba was popular. Horror movie, The Eye. No idea. Two disc set. If you remember The Eye, you can comment below. I always tell you guys to comment below because I can't remember anything that has to do with The Eye. You won't believe her eyes. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. An American Haunting. Okay, it's another one of those. Sometimes these possession type movies or haunted house type movies, they kind of all have the same kind of feel. If I remember correctly, this was one of the better of the haunted house movies. But to be perfectly honest with you, I'm having a hard time remembering. It looks like it has Donald Sutherland in it. Yes, it does. It has Donald Sutherland in it, and it is a Lionsgate. So, this is probably something that I should watch again. This is something I think I'm definitely gonna watch again. I feel like it's gonna be really, really good. I just can't remember it. Truly Chilling Tale. Just can't remember it. Night of the Living Dead 3D, and this is a. Am I gonna say his name? I want. I make please make sure I say Sig Haig. Am I gonna say it? Sig Haig. Yes, Sig Haig. Right? Because I always get Captain Spaulding. It's odd that I had Sig Haig. It's odd that I mean I have an autographed picture from him. I try to collect almost everything that he's possibly in, and I saw this 2D 3D version. It's just it says 3D 2D. Does it come with glasses? Does it say no? This is not even a thing. This is the 2D version. So it's Night of the Living Dead 3D, but it's in 2D. I don't even care. It's got him in it. And I like the Captain Spaulding character. I just think that Sid Haig is a cool horror person. I just think that the movies that he's done have been great, and this was all right. I mean, if you've seen Night of the Living Dead, you know what the story's about. It's the same exact story with a bunch of odd pitchfork things coming at your face, or this gives you the illusion of it's gonna be 3D, but it ain't in 3D. It's in 2D. Here's another special Blockbuster Video $1.99 special. It's a movie called The Rats. Bought it. Why? I love animals attack movies. I love rats and sharks and spiders and cockroaches and piranhas and any kind of animal that comes after you, and you got to figure out a way to kill them somehow. And this was a previewed copy of it. It must have been some kind of special that was going on, but I cannot remember the movie for the life of me. But it's called The Rat, so I'm assuming it's about some kind of killer rats. Now we have a franchise. I'll bang this thing out really quick because I know you guys want me to roll on here. And we got The Grudge. We have The Grudge 2. And we have The Grudge 3. Now, the Grudge movies are good. I put them up there with The Ring, you know, those, I think it's Japanese movies or Asian movies that the Americans redid. But they always say that the Japanese or the Asian versions of them are better. I can't relate or compare because I have a hard time reading my movies. I try to stay away from the reading movies. So I don't know what the original Grudge was like. I don't know what the original Ringu or Ring was like. But I do know that these were really good. First one being the best. And then the other two being kind of okay. You know what I mean? The Grudge. If you don't know what it's about, it's hard to explain. It's one of those. It's hard to explain. Better off going into it blind and letting it scare the bejesus out of you. That's what I gotta say. All right. Next one is a movie called See No Evil, and it stars Kane. This is one of those WWE releases, and this one was actually really good. It's horror movie starring Kane the wrestler, and but he's not playing Kane the wrestler. He's playing this guy with the see no evil, hear no evil type thing going on. This was a decent action horror, very fast-paced dark movie. That's what I gotta say about that one. And then we have a triple pack that I put in plastic. I should have put the other ones. So I got after I cataloged these, I put them in plastic anyway. But this one has The Darkness, Phantoms, and Venom on it. This is a triple pack. I have no idea why I bought this. I don't know what the significance of these three movies were. I don't even think I've watched any of these three movies yet. Phantoms has Ben Affleck, and I remember some kind of joke in one of the Clerks movies or whatever, like Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms or something like that. But I don't know why I bought this triple set. Probably because maybe because of Venom. I don't know. Might be out of print. It's a Miramax triple feature. There was a reason behind it. Maybe I was just consolidating, but I barely remember any of these movies. Next one is a Arrow release of Basket Case. And I bought this because I had never seen Basket Case before, and it has a ton of extra special features. Goes on and on and on. Basket Case is about, I haven't seen it in a while. If I remember correctly, this guy has I want to say it's his brother that was connected to him. They surgically removed him, put him in a basket. He's like this grotesque little creature type thing. But this was like when they didn't have the CGI. This was like puppets and stuff like that. So I'm a big puppet fan, you know, a big fan of like practical effects that people, when people create with their hands, and they create magical stuff like with their hands, like the original Yoda. Okay, I am not a CGI guy. I have a hard time with CGI stuff. I love when people create things. When Tom Savini used to make the creature cuts and the creature heads and the knives and the swords, and you saw the practical effects. I mean, it was amazing. I just thought it was amazing what he could possibly do, or what he couldn't do. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff is just beyond unbelievable, but the time and the imagination is what gets me in those things. And Basket Case was one of those type movies. Not the best movie in the world, but it's definitely something for you to watch. Next franchise we have Deep Blue Sea, Deep Blue Sea 2, and Deep Blue Sea 3. Deep Blue Sea, the original one, is the one to go to. The other two, whoa. And I just got done talking about CGI stuff there. These two are just CGI messes, okay? This one, we're talking CGI too, but they did a good job with the shock. I give credit where credit is due, and storyline too. The original story for the original Deep Blue Sea is amazing. They're building this big underwater like shock tank type thing or whatever, and of course the shocks they're injecting them. If I remember correctly, they're trying to cure Alzheimer's, so they're injecting these shocks into their brains with these almost like the cure for Alzheimer's, but it's making the shocks smart. So they're doing things and they're breaking into things. But I'll tell you right now, the first one is great. I have watched it so many times with my family. I have watched it so many times by myself. It's my go-to shock movie next to Jaws, and there's a couple other good shock movies, but the first one's the best. These other two, I probably will never watch them again. Probably never watch them again. If there's a part 4, I'll buy it because it's part of the franchise, and I'll watch it and I'll sit through. But I'll tell you right now, whoa, this is the one. This is the one you want. Okay. Shout Factory release of The Stepfather. Excellent movie. Excellent horror movie. I don't know why it's a Shout Factory, not a Scream Factory, because this is definitely a horror movie. Not for kids, okay? It's about this he's like a predator. He's a killer, a serial killer. He befriends families, makes the women fall in love with him. He befriends the children and everything, and then he kills you. He literally kills you, but he runs into the wrong family at this time. And there is sequels to this movie. I believe there's 2 other sequels, but they're not available on Blu-ray, so I have not picked them up yet, but I will, because the sequels are just as good as the original one, and I will definitely be buying them. But I couldn't wait to get this movie because I seen it years ago. I think it was one of those rental ones I used to rent over and over again. Excellent movie. It's a thriller, it's a horror. It will keep you going, and if your wife's into that kind of stuff, it's one to watch with her because it flows very, very well. Gretel and Hansel. I watched it once. It was okay. It was okay. It's a newer horror movie, so sometimes they would say, "Well, this was new. This was a newer one that might be good," but it was good. It was good. Is it watch over and over and over again good? No. I watched it, and I could chalk it up to horror movies that I watched, and I'm pretty good with that. There's a lot of different. There's Hansel and Gretel Get Baked. There's quite a few Hansel and Gretel type movies here, but this one was a little bit different. Good story, had me going. It had a little bit of a Conjuring feel about. I'm not saying it was like it was like the Conjuring, but I don't know. I think it was the colors, and the way it was shot, and the different, the way they filmed it. It just made me feel a little Conjuring-ish. That makes sense to you. I don't know. Here's one that almost flew under the radar, and I'm thankful that Scream Factory released this thing, and the cover is what caught my eye, and I was like, okay, well, I'm buying it, and hopefully it's going to be good because the cover was cool. Night of the Creeps, excellent. I would not classify this as this is a Scream Factory release, and of course Scream Factory did a great job fixing this thing up. It's got new interviews, episodes of Howard's Hallowed Grounds, which I absolutely love. Is when they show the filming locations of what they did here. Featurettes with the cast, Creation, Escape of the Creeps, Legends of the Creeps, theatrical trailers, a lot of stuff in here. And I'll tell you right now, this movie it's not, I wouldn't say it was so much horror as it was more like a horror comedy type thing. But I really thought this was good. I really thought this was actually, I watched it and I was like, it's one of them that you could put in. Once it's done, you probably want to watch it again. I mean, like right away. And I'm not like wait like a week, like kind of like it could become your favorite horror movie. That's what I feel about that. It was really good. Next one I have is a Vestron video release of Warlock Collection, and you get Warlock, Warlock 2, and Warlock 3 in here. 3 movies in the thing. Is it the Warlocks that I watched? I'm not sure. I don't want to steer the wrong way because I know Warlocks came out. And Wishmaster, that was the other one. I didn't watch the Warlocks yet. I watched two of the Wishmasters. And Vestron Video just does a great job with their releases also. So I'm a big Vestron Video fan, big Scream Factory fan, a big Arrow fan, big Trauma fan, big a Full Moon fan. You know, those people they take good criterions. I mean, they take really good care of this stuff, and this was a cool little addition to my set, especially since I didn't see any of them, and I still haven't watched any of them yet. I will. I'll get around to it. I will definitely get around to it. All right, here's another franchise, and one of them I am going to buy on Blu-ray, even though I hear that the sequel is terrible, and I do not remember the sequel, but I think it's going to be worth a Blu-ray upgrade, and it is American Psycho, and this is the 4K. I actually have it on Blu-ray, but it's the 4K, Blu-ray, and digital. The reason why I bought this is because the original Blu-ray was a terrible transfer. It was absolutely terrible, and I don't like buying things on 4K, but I wanted a better version of this movie. So I grabbed the 4K, and it comes with the Blu-ray also. It comes with the digital, which is useless to me because I don't care about that stuff. And then I have American Psycho 2, which stars, what's her name? Let me make sure I get her name right here. It's better for me to look down the bottom here. Mila Kunis. Kunis? The one that's married to Ashton Kutcher and was in That 70s Show. And I guess she plays a psycho. Yeah, I have not watched this yet. Still factory sealed. But I am going to upgrade it to Blu-ray because that's how I want to watch it. I just, after being let down with the Blu-ray version of this, I don't want to be let down with the DVD version of this. So I'm going, and it's not that expensive, like $8, whatever. I can upgrade this, and I'm going to do so because that's how I roll. But American Psycho, if you don't know what American Psycho is, it's like, can I say yuppie? Is yuppie the word? This guy's like, he's one of those bougie, ritzy kind of guys that every girl wants to be with, but he's got some stuff going on psychologically in his mind. Let me grab these over here. I'm running out of room over here to stack this stuff up. We're almost getting to the end. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 of them are part of a franchise. Because I know I don't want the complaints that these videos are too long. So I'm gonna go. Next one, Vestron Video version of The Parents. Oh, it's just Parents. Their new name for terror, Parents, and it stars Randy Quaid. This was all right. It was all right. I'd never seen it before. I like the title. It's rated R, not for kids, even though it's called Parents, not for kids, not a kids movie. And I was just in the search for something new and different, comedy, horror style. It was an odd movie. And if you know the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It was okay, but it was definitely odd. So, Parents by Vestron Video. Great movie. Legion. Excellent movie. I had this on VHS, had it on DVD. upgraded it to Blu-ray. Absolutely love this movie. This is one of those biblical horror movies, end of times, end of the world type thing, and it is this movie is so good. I've watched it so many times. I'm not going to get into it because if you have not seen it and you want to see a awesome biblical type horror movie, go into this blind and you will be blown away. The special effects are great. Like I said, I'm not a CGI guy, but they did a great job in this movie. And the storyline, if you're a gun guy, if you're into guns, I mean, the arsenal that they use to defeat the armies of darkness is just great movie. Legion, great movie. Okay, this next one is a franchise of sorts. The Babysitter and The Babysitter 2, which is called Babysitter Killer Queen. And I picked these up online. They are excellent quality. They are awesome. You can watch either one of these right now on Netflix. If you have Netflix, you can put them on. They are great. But you know me, I'm a physical media guy. I had to have the physical media. I had to have the physical copies of these things. Like I said, I can put it on Netflix. I can watch it right now. But guaranteed that little streaming thing is gonna circle. It's gonna go on. My buffer is gonna go, and halfway through the movie or 10 minutes into the movie, I'm just gonna get aggravated. But there's no buffer when you have the Blu-ray, so that's why physical copies of stuff are just so much better. And I've seen both of these movies, and both of them were excellent movies. Definitely worth a buy. You can find them online. Search for them. They got them on eBay, a little pricey, and then there's different companies that sell them also. But great. I mean, they got barcodes and everything, quality, perfect, excellent movies. And we're down to our last two, and I'm going to go with this one first, Cabin in the Woods. I enjoyed this. My kids enjoyed it a little bit more than me. Cabin in the Woods is a movie about it's like almost like a game show. They pick the demise of the people that are in the cabin, you know, whether it be zombies or whatever, and people are watching in a live studio to see how they are going to die, and there's like a grid where they can't escape the cabin in the woods. Really good idea, good thought out movie. I enjoyed it, and kids enjoyed it too. Last one I have here is a movie called Don't Breathe, and the sequel is coming out soon, which I'm a little confused about the sequel. I've seen the commercial. I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I thought this was great. I thought, you know, people broke into the house, and there's a guy in there, and he's up to no good anyway. But you know, they broke into the house, so they had it coming. But the sequel, I think it's now all of a sudden they turned the guy that was like psychotic and a killer and stuff, and they turned him almost into, I feel like he's almost like the hero of this new sequel that's coming out. But the last one I got here to show you is a movie called Don't Breathe. And with that, I hope this video was not too long for you. I hope you sat through it. If you did, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and I will be posting more frequently as I keep going on. Hey, listen, the more subscribes I get, the more likes I get, the better I feel, the more motivational I feel, the more motivated I am to make more of these videos. So please hit that like, please hit that subscribe, and I will see you later.